Welcome to the Whitetail Legacy Podcast.
Tomorrow is opening day.
This morning, didn't have a great hunt. Deer didn't move like usual.
We just got set up in the middle of this bedding thicket. We've been saving this spot from the rut. It's a nice, I think it's a nice buck.
Boom! Hits a 170.
That was money. I think he's down right over there, maybe 10 yards.
Whitetail Legacy Podcast, bringing you back to the hunt and leaving a legacy.
Baller rut.
All right, guys, you're listening to the Whitetail Legacy Podcast. This is our preseason update. It's been a roller coaster ride, but we're freaking jacked because the next 10 days are going to be a make it or break it for me, and then the rut's going to be on fire for homie. All right,
I think it's more of a season update, not preseason, but...
Yeah, it's a season update. You're right.
Okay.
You're right.
All right.
Always correcting me. No
I
big
know.
deal.
Hey, as much as I get caught out on this damn thing, I gotta
Sweatpants.
get back. I gotta get back somewhere here.
Yeah. Here we go. Getting to the people that make this possible. We're going to start with the title sponsor of the Whitetail Legacy Podcast, the VIP Veteran Broadhead. On this, I want to shout out
David Cagle.
David Cagle. Yeah, dude.
He was a VIP shout out
Yeah.
during an episode.
Are you kidding me?
But this guy is sending it left and right.
Yeah. Number 8, going for number 8 with
He's
the same head.
He's going for number 8 with the same head. We've told you guys that, you know, the guys from the rival, they're I believe last year they dropped $6 with the same head.
Yeah.
David is just literally a normal guy who served his time for this country and is out there hunting just like you and I are, and he has 6 animals down. Seven.
Yeah.
My fault. 7 animals down with the same veteran broadhead.
Yeah, that's insane.
I don't think David's one to lie about it.
No.
I mean, it's legit.
Yeah, it's legit.
And he hasn't even sharpened it. All he's done is cleaned it up, took the 2 screws out of it, and sent it again.
Jeez, man. He's
So,
just piling the meat up.
I'm jealous.
We can't even shoot a doe, and he's just
I know.
racking them up.
He's like, well, yeah, number 6,
Yeah.
number 7, here it goes.
All right. Homie's got a very special VIP veteran broadhead shout out.
This week on the VIP Veteran Broadhead Shoutout, we have David Galbraith. He was a Marine from 1967 to 1969. Served overseas in Vietnam for 13 months as a ground and pounder. This man is the guy who owns my piece that I hunt. I'm very thankful for his generosity for letting me and my family hunt there. I was finally able to catch up with him and get the definite go for this year of bow hunting. I said, you know, the way that I approached him was great, and he was thankful, and we had a conversation about military, politics, current politics. So very thankful for him. He's the nicest dude I've ever met. He owns probably 270 acres.
Prime
and
time.
Has never asked for a dime out of anybody. I think 18 or 19 people shotgun hunt this place. He said right now he's only got 3 people bow hunting, including me. So very thankful. I wish the cams showed how thankful I am to be there. But a lot of work and a lot of memories made on this piece. So a very thankful shout out here for Dave, man. I know my whole family that you've let hunt your place. Appreciate your service. And I know Cody and all of his family appreciate it. And you have been on that piece. So I know he definitely appreciated it from firsthand experience.
Yep. Thank you. I'm glad you get to hunt it this year. It'd be cool to wrap the story up with a nice big buck to drag out of the buck nest, which
It
is going to
would.
be brutal when it goes down that ravine.
yeah.
All right, let's get into scent lock. What do you want to talk about this time?
Man, I just cannot get over the quality of everything that they
Yeah.
do, the thoughtfulness.
Have I brought up the bottom of the bags?
No.
Okay, so I don't know some of the competitors' bags out there. They're just just the same material on the base, and Scentlock made a leather bottom. So like if it's snowing or if it's wet out, the back of your truck is wet, or you can just literally like take this bag out, set it on the ground, and no moisture is going to seep into the bag and cause a mildew problem or something, or get on your clothes.
Really good engineering behind that, and just the Oz chamber with the 500 unit in there. That'll get you guys carried all the way.
Yeah, all through season, be ready to go. All your late season, early season, all my gear in there. Camera bag, bow arm, everything. Or
Dude,
tree or camera arm, everything.
It's so big.
Yeah,
So big.
so giant. All right, let's get into Ingram's outdoor obsession. I'm super excited to pick up my turkey fan this year. Get that Euro turkey skull in the studio. We got one turkey fan in here. We need a solid turkey mount in here though.
Yeah.
Mount fan. And then I'm not sure if I don't think I've went up there. I don't think I gave him the mink yet. What do you think about the mink? I'm excited.
Well, we had that maybe one on cam.
Yeah.
I mean,
What if like we just put like a mink up in the top corner, full bodied,
just kind of curling
just
out
kinda
towards
curled
us.
out,
That'd be
like
sick.
chewing on a shed or something.
That'd be sick.
Pretty sick. So we got some plans for him. Plus 2 giant bucks. We're gonna take him. All right, that's it. Right, that's all. We're good.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Preseason update, or not preseason. Homie's gonna yell at me.
Yeah, God.
Season update. What's the date?
The date today? The date today, we're recording this, October 1-9.
October 19th. No confirmed kills.
0.
0 confirmed kills.
Welcome to the Whitetail Legacy Podcast, where we overpromise and underdeliver.
Yeah, the only podcast on the air that still hasn't killed a deer. No, we got big bucks on the brain, dude.
I know.
We haven't been setting doe sets.
No, not really.
We've been setting big butt sets.
I've been sitting sets for bucks
That you could possibly kill a
that
doe.
I could possibly kill a doe, and if a doe would come by, cool.
Yeah, but you've had what, 3 close calls with does?
I've had 2.
2, and then I passed does twice.
Yeah.
So, but it's
So-
because I'm like, last year this time there was a buck in here.
Right.
So I don't want to shoot a doe, and then there's a huge rainstorm coming, and I was like, I'm not gonna drag a deer out in the rain on public, So I've been putting a lot of effort on public, a lot of packet in hunts, grinding, moving trail cameras. I can get pictures of them at night. I'm real good at that. But,
I was here the last maybe week. Well, no, I pulled the cam. So the week before last, going into the October lull, I had deer daylight. No shooters, but I had deer daylight. I mean, that's the best. The best the cams have shown.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if other people experience this, but like before the last few days, it seems like the bucks are just gone. You know what I mean? And then they
Yeah.
just like seize back in. I just think the October lull is such a or how do I say that?
Controversial.
Yeah, exactly.
Bush light.
Subject.
Hashtag.
But I think that they move, but I think they just shrink their home range so small. And I was talking to somebody, and he was asking me about it, and I said it's kind of like a weightlifter, when it's the off season in the winter, you're bulking. Well, he's bulking right now. He don't want to move. He don't want to go very far. He just wants to eat, strengthen his neck, get that testosterone flowing, and just chill. He don't want to go far. He don't want to burn that energy he's going to need later. I kind of think that's what he is, I think that's what they do, because Boonertown's kind of dried up. We haven't pulled some cams on there for a while.
Right.
One of the best buck cam sets that we got, down there in the bowl.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
What'd I say?
Best buck, damn.
Well, I'm thinking and trying to talk at the same time, and then you got Giants on the
I know.
on the TV.
I
and
just
it's
put
making
them
me
up
stutter.
there.
So I think there'll be some bucks on that cam down there in the bowl.
On the bull?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, scrape tree.
Yeah, scrape tree.
I would say because in my pre-hunt interview, I was like, "We're at the Moultrie set," so
Yeah.
I don't want people that listen to this podcast watch our videos and be like, "I don't even know where the hell this is at."
Yeah, yeah.
Like, where the hell are they at?
Where are they?
I haven't heard of this stand before
Yeah.
in my life, and I've listened to 50 hours of these guys. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So
Yeah, homie had a good set at the Moultrie set. That was the virgin set on that property.
on that
On
side,
the side, yeah. Had a buck chasing a doe. Probably couldn't get an eye on
Yeah,
the buck. Too tall grass and
Right. I mean, we've been jacking around here for so damn long. I probably should have let you watch that video of that doe coming out.
oh yeah.
But you're too busy, occupied on something else.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we got big news coming up in a little while. Let's talk about your shooter encounter. Homie has had a shooter encounter.
I did have. I
I kind of want to go through what led up to that shooter encounter, like all the stuff that made you go to that stand.
I really would too. Let's see. When was that? Last Saturday.
Yeah.
It was last Saturday.
I've been working so many hours
yeah,
and
I
trying
would
to
say
hunt as
you-
much as possible.
yeah,
I
you-
can't even remember days.
So, we'll call it October 12th. I did not hunt the morning. I was able to go down to my piece and was able to hunt the afternoon. We still have all the fields in, which is corn. And, the farmers don't pick that property until it's their last place to pick, and that's why I have not had any very good early season success. So I knew going down I was gonna have to hunt my what we call the shotgun stand, get in the morning stand. I had a very good wind for it, and I had a very good wind for where the deer move in the afternoon, not for the morning. So the landowner also has these two gentlemen who hunt. You don't have it turned on there, bud. Again, Cody's trying to light the heater in the studio. There he goes. Now it's lit up. The landowner has these two guys he goes to church with, and then they're able to hunt there as well, and they kind of hunt down towards my area. I'm not saying it's that good, but that's just where they hunt, ease of access, and I mean, it kind of suppresses the deer movement in my area after a certain period. So I took a risk in parking up top of the farm and venturing down to find out that they were hunting. And then when they hunt, they park within 80 to 100 yards from my morning stand, which is where I was going to hunt this evening with this great wind. So I get down there, fear the worst. Now I have to walk, a half mile back to my truck, and then probably another 3/4 mile because I got to loop around, plus walk the half mile back down. So I'm in a stand that I don't really want to be in, but it's a place that I can at least hunt and not spook any deer getting into. And if they're coming from bedding, going to the standing corn, I'm not going to spook their normal movement if I want to pass anything. So, Cody, you had texted me and said, because I'd said, hey, man, dude, there's people down there hunting. They walked right by my piece. They're right by my stand. They're parked within 80 yards of my stand. So I'm in a stand that I do not even want to be in, but like I've said before, I mean, it's just such a far drive. I've got to make something work, and I can. It's just not what I want to do. So I text Cody and I said, hey, man, this is what I got going on. He said, well, hey, you got the red moon with you, and he sent me a picture. I don't know where you got the picture from, but it had October, whatever the day was, 12th or 13th, and then it had like 4:02 in the evening. I was like, okay.
Just trying to motivate him. That's what I do.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I do.
Because he wasn't hunting, which, I mean, he obviously had something important going on because it was Saturday night. So 5:02, this buck comes the opposite way that they should from bedding. So they're bedding to my south, and he comes from the north right into the window. So instead of the deer working from the bedding, working through the thick shit right to me, and then the last 30 yards, I've got an open window I can shoot, anything. He comes from the north, just right into the window. I'm like, oh shit, I see him, shooter, start grabbing the bow, get the camera on him, and then he's in mid-frame at 30 yards, and I've got this tree pegged at 35 yards. I'm like, okay, he's short of that. We're about to have a go here, and I don't know what happens. He's mid-frame, just spooks out of nowhere. There's absolutely no chance he has my wind. Absolutely none.
I watched the video. I have no idea why that deer spooked. Like, I have zero.
The only thing that I can think, I mean, this is going to sound dumb as hell, but he got hit in the head with an acorn. Like, just...
I have no idea how he spooked.
He just starts shaking his head.
He's like on a dead calm walk at 20 yards, and then he needs to come like 3 foot, and he's just like, see ya.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't like see movement where he'd like look or something. He just sprints.
No freezing, no nothing. And so from what you seen from the footage and me seeing with my eyeballs, he just starts shaking his head left and right and just runs like 50 yards. And then when he's like back in the thick shit from where the deer are going to come from bedding, he's just cool. He just starts,
he wanted to get past that open spot.
Yeah, that too. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know if he got hit in the head with an acorn or a leaf, or I don't know.
Something.
But then he's back in the thick shit, and I can still see his rack, and he's just like browsing. I don't know what happened. Like, it was weird.
Homie ain't killing me today.
Right.
Run past,
That's
full sprint, 20 yards.
Pretty much. So then I'm looking at the film that I got of him on the camera, and my camera will let me go frame by frame. So I'm trying to get like a real good look of how big he was. And then I just heard like a deer like take a big huff of air. Deer didn't blow, but I'm like, oh man, dude, there's a deer over here on the other side of the ridge, which would be to the west of me. And we had a southwest wind, so she wasn't getting my wind, or this deer wasn't getting my wind. And so I'm in the middle of checking the frames, and I was like, okay, well, I got to stop this, pay attention over here. I said, deer might be circling back downwind, trying to get downwind of me. And then there's a doe and a yearling, and she's starting to come up the other side of the ridge that's right behind me. And she pokes her head right in the hole, and she's bobbing her head up and down, up and down, up and down. And I'm just like, oh, man. I mean, there's no way she has my wind because it's still way north of her. And then she's like, well, I'm not going to go on the ridge. I'm just going to stay on my side. So her and the yearling stay on her side. And then I was waiting for that buck to come, maybe catch a trail of that doe. But he never showed back up. And then when I walked out into the pasture that night, there was 3 deer out there. One buck wasn't the buck I seen. I mean, it was a rack buck, but it wasn't a shooter. And then he was with two does. One doe was about 80 yards away from them two, and then he was about 30 yards from the other doe. So a stand I shouldn't have even been in, but I played the right wind, and it worked out good. So, I mean... It didn't work out good.
Never know. That just shows you early season.
It didn't work out good, but
you never know.
I saw
You got
good action.
close. I mean,
yeah, I saw good action because I played the wind.
3 more seconds of him walking normal, and you would have shot him.
Yes.
I mean, so you were right there. So I I haven't seen a buck over a 6-pointer this year. so
A
far.
what?
A 6-pointer over
Oh,
a
boy.
6-pointer. So
Other than that shooter, I'm right there with you, man.
yeah, a lot of doe. Been passing does. Seen a lot of does. Seen a bunch of turkeys the other night.
Did you?
State ground, yeah.
Nice.
Bunch of turkeys. Come out right where we normally park the truck when we dove hunt.
Last Sunday when I was in the buck nest, I heard two different turkeys gobble.
Nice.
I was kind of jacked up about that. I always get jacked up, no
Yeah.
matter what it is. I get jacked up.
Yeah. Well, should we let the bird out of the cage?
No.
Okay.
Make them wait. So October 4th, giant cold front. Cody and I both took the day off. I'm sure you guys have heard of deer cast. We kind of used that. Everybody said, deer movement's going to be great. First October cold front. Cody and I took the day off. We went into his best set, pretty much. And we seen 2 small bucks. So
It was early.
and cams were decent leading up to that.
Yeah, and then we went to Boonertown after that evening, which
Yep.
that cam was on fire.
That cam was on fire.
It was right there, like where
was- it was-
30 minutes and they would have been daylight.
Yeah, it was
you know?
edge. It was edge. If they were coming, we would have seen them in the daylight because
Yeah.
we can see 200 yards. So if they were going to hit that cam in daylight, we would have seen them if we were hunting, and then we would have went from there.
Mm-hmm.
So the very first cold front of October did not work out for Cody and I. And then all the other trail cam data that we've got, it just wasn't very good. Can you say that from all the cams?
Yeah.
Even from my piece, like it just wasn't. It wasn't what it was supposed to be from what everybody was saying.
Yeah, wasn't as good as we thought it was going to be. But I mean, when you get that cold front that early in the year, your anticipation's so high, and you just get so jacked.
And then
you
you
know
get
what I mean?
everybody behind you saying, "Go, go,
Yeah,
go!
you gotta
This
go.
is it.
This is it.
This is the first one. Go,
Yeah.
go get them money sets." It just wasn't there. So we hunted all day.
Yeah.
Wasn't there.
Wasn't there. We put our effort in and wasn't there. I need you to look up December 7th of last year and tell me what the win was. And look up December 13th. All right, guys, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. Mr. Freeze is back, hard-horned, center of the property, hitting the old scrape tree that's been hit the last 3 years. I told homie, I said, I ran camera on this thing, always wanted to, pulled it right before season. Mr. Freeze has been using this for 3 years, and then boom. Got a really nice 8, no B 8
No
on
B.
there.
No B.
No brow 8, real nice, solid buck, and then Mr. Freeze. We've been game planning and looking at maps and trying to figure out this buck tonight, and I
thought I was just coming in here for a nice couple podcasts, gonna be able to leave, get back home with the fam, have a decent night, and then Cody pulled the car today. Next thing you know, Mr. Freeze is on it on the last 7 picks.
yeah.
So then I got blindsided with all this.
So I think we got a good game plan, man.
Yeah.
You think we should let the listeners in and then maybe they could comment whether what they think or not?
Yeah. We need to get into a little bit of it at least.
Yeah.
I want to get into you going over old picks, different bucks, different giants, coming in, going out. We're just recently matching up this wind pattern with Mr. Freeze coming in and out. So
Okay, yeah. Hit me with a question. You can just interview me about Mr. Freeze right now, and then I'll let the listeners.
So last Saturday, October 12th, you got a Moultrie mobile pick of
Yeah.
a buck.
Yeah.
What is he doing? Where's this cam at and what's he doing?
This cam's on the Acorn set where I shot my buck last year. He's coming off
of what you think is buck bedding.
where the bucks were bedded last year, where the buck I shot was bedding last year. Coming off there, 2 hours to shooting light, 15 yards from my stand on a southwest wind, working the edge to where I potentially think that he's bedded. At this point, I potentially think that he's bedded there. That's when I told you, okay, I think that he's bedding. This is where it all started. So I get this pick, and I'm like, okay, all right, I got to figure out why is he there? You know, that's what everybody says. When you get a trail cam pick, you don't just, oh, I got a big buck. Why is that buck there? You know, you got to start going through the wind, the weather, you know, what day is it, and all that.
So, on that pick, what did you find out the wind was?
It was southwest wind.
Southwest wind.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was actually at work working
On a Saturday.
and got that pick, and I was like, oh my gosh, I could be in that stand right now.
But then, after further review,
Yeah, it was southwest, which I could not have been in that stand.
I was like, well, your dumbass is at work. Why aren't you hunting? He said, well, I wouldn't have been there anyway because southwest wind. The stand is literally southwest of the cam
Yeah,
or the trail he's on.
Yeah.
I mean,
it would
either
have been
or.
blowing right at him.
Yeah. So we hunted a week ago Thursday. And then you talked me into putting a cam on a scrape tree that you had a cam on, but you had always pulled early, but then you'd come back to it and it'd be tore up.
Yeah, like I said, like the 20th, it was just tore up when I come back through it. And
Right.
I'd always,
And then you just kick yourself in the ass.
yeah, I'd always pull a cam, like, I'd always leave it there all season when they're rubbing velvet and stuff.
Right.
Thinking like, okay, something, and then I get nothing, literally nothing, like pictures of squirrels. But we put a mock scrape there this year. I have normally not done that. There had been a scrape there by them previously. So this year I decided to make my own. And I don't know if that's what drew the bucks in or if it was just, I mean, he obviously had to be going down that trail because, well, on a southwest, he would actually smelt that scrape.
And then,
It'd have been blowing right towards him. So he hit that scrape from the downwind side.
this is so wild. Dude, it's getting wild.
Yeah, he hit that scrape from the downwind side. With that, he walked right into that scrape, face right into it. And he might not have ever been that way unless that scrape was there.
So we hunted on northwest, or a wet.
Yeah.
It was straight west because
Straight west.
the damn tree was about blowed over.
Yeah.
We exited, and then we did a little scouting. Went up to the food plot where the food plot was. Hung this cam, made this mock scrape, and then 6 days later, here's Mr. Freeze hitting the scrape. But before that, we had that 8 Cody talked about.
I want to shout this out. Should
Yeah.
I shout out what we used to make that scrape?
Yeah,
I peed in that scrape. I've always heard about it, and just be straight up honest with you, I didn't think we were going to get Mr. Freeze there. I had no confidence that we would get a hard-horn picture of him until late November.
So Cody's just kind of bullshitting with me as I'm hanging this cam. You know, we seen a couple bucks, couple small bucks. I mean, not shooters. I mean, if you're
You want to shoot 70 inches.
Yeah.
They're shooters. We've seen a couple 70-inch,
right,
60-inch
I mean, deer that you know are antlered, but we're on the way out. He's like, dude, we got a hang cam on this tree because they hit this tree every year.
This
It's
tree
just
is literally
rubbed.
like rubbed in half. I
It's
mean, it's
rubbed
probably
in half from both sides, not just one.
Yeah.
From both. And if I can convince you that it's from the east to the west, then you'll know where this camera is facing. Cody's like, well, I'm just going to piss in it. I'm just like, hey, man, I've heard it work. I've heard it works.
I've heard it. People say, "Oh yeah, I just piss right in it." I'm like,
Yeah.
I've never tried it. I've
So-
always been a guy that like pisses in a bottle, you know,
right?
scent control freak. Pissed right in that some gun. Biggest buck I got on cam, just right in there, raking it up.
So as I'm hanging the cam, I mean, it's dark by the time we get up to this tree because we just got in hunting. And I get done hanging the cam. I was like, all right, you ready to go? He's like, yeah, pissed in it, cleared out the scrape. Here we go. And then the trail goes right out to where you had the food plot.
Mm-hmm.
We literally walk right into a scrape on the edge of that. And he's like, you're like, dude, they've never made a scrape here.
Mm-mm.
So, guys, we have found maybe a new bedding spot that we have not talked about on Cody's lease. So, getting into this.
Yeah, okay. This let's just say this right now. I'm dumb. That's all I can say. I'm dumb that I have not noticed it from now. Really? I mean, what else can you say? If it's right, the deer has been right under my nose for 3 years. And it's not just him. Multiple big deer. It's patterning out to be multiple big deer.
Okay.
Have been right there.
I will say, if I had the same intel you did, I would be probably right where you're at.
You look at that piece and you're like,
are you looking at doe picks any, or are you just looking at buck picks?
just big buck picks.
Okay, because
But there's a lot of doe tracks going into it.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna start here. So my money sets in northwest corner stand, transition grass to oaks, right on the corner of a cornfield. It's very good. Bucks hit that grass, trying to bump up does. There's a really good doe bedding draw to the north of me in that, and they always hit the downwind side in that grass, feeling super comfortable, and they work from that grass into my timber right past my stand. Seen multiple shooter deer there, shot 2 deer there the past 3 years, same stand. Multiple trail cam pictures of big deer there. Great spot. Every time that I was hunting that spot, the buck that I was chasing, if he was bedded in this area, could win me the whole time.
The whole time.
The whole time. I told homie earlier in the year, I have never had a buck come from this direction.
Yep. October 4th, he told me
Yeah,
that.
I've never had a deer come from this direction because I hunt it here. So even on a straight west, he couldn't win me, but he could see me walk in.
Yep.
The deer in there ain't going to see me walk in. He could, though. He could see me walk right in.
If he was up on the edge.
Yeah,
like
and then,
he would have to be on the edge.
Yeah, and then he smelt me there 15 times.
Yeah.
You know, he knows.
Going
in there pulling cams and stuff.
Even if you're not going to that corner stand, if you're going to the acorn stand,
yeah, it's
he's
even
still
worse.
smelling.
Yeah.
He's still smelling you the whole damn way.
Mhm.
Not just going in, but he's smelling you from the way he came, probably in the morning.
Yeah, so I got him going in towards that.
I don't want to talk to you right now like I know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just talking to you.
Oh, yeah, I know.
You know.
Yeah, I get what you're doing. And I think that you doing that and us playing it out like this is going to help in the long run. And the listeners just get to listen to it.
Because you just did it to me this morning. You're like, well, your damn stand's way in there too deep.
I'm not trying to say what I know more than you, but like a deer blew at you.
Yeah.
Swirling winds. There's a sign on top of the hill. I'm like, man, you just need to. That sucks because you got to move a stand again.
Yeah.
Just need to pack it out and hang it on top of the hill. Then your access will be better. Your wind will be better. It sucks, but just like me, look at here. I mean, I chased this deer for 2 years, and he's been in my farm multiple times.
Probably times you didn't even know it.
Yeah, multiple times. He's been bedded there multiple times.
You think you're going in there hunting him, and then he's already bedded.
And not getting up.
And your scent is blowing right to him.
Or he's not even bedding there on a northwest, and he's only bedding there on a southwest. And he's not even close to my property. And the only time I get pics of him are on a southwest, besides late winter. But late winter, he could be saying, okay, here's easy food, water, and cover, thermal grass cover access within 50 yards.
I think, obviously the one day you got him on a late hot doe.
Southwest. Wasn't there. I got him on a yearling doe, November 27th, going out to the edge of a field.
Southwest.
9 o'clock in the morning, southwest. Coming off the north piece onto mine.
Did you see what the 3rd and the 7th was?
The 7th was a west-northwest. So
10
days later, he was bedding in that area with the west-northwest. So he might bed there all more than I think.
Right.
But the daylight pictures and the pictures I got of him in season, like in the rut or in season, are all southwest. So we're just out here cracking beers and trying to figure this buck out. So I got 3 trail cam pictures of him on my property, exiting and entering this bedding area on a southwest. So I feel like I got 1 cam that I haven't pulled yet that is got to have him on it if he's using this bedding area like I think he is. So we know that he was in there yesterday. So if he accessed it the way I think he did, then he's on there. So I need to go pull that cam. But my question is, when you're in there, do you hang a set?
Are you asking me a question,
Yeah.
or I mean, because I'm below the level of you of big buck killing.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I know-
you've seen it.
I know what sounds good,
Yeah.
but everybody always has that clause. Well, it's situational. It's according to your property.
Yeah.
So,
well, you know my
I
property.
know what sounds
You know
good.
the deer. You've seen all the intel.
All right,
You've
hit me,
seen it
big
lay
dog.
out.
Hit me, big dog.
Okay. The rut's coming.
Uh-huh.
He obviously is chasing does hard. He was fighting hard last year. He had stuff broke off everywhere.
Yep.
The neighbors seen him, supposedly a long ways away.
Way away. Yep.
So, do I go in there, hang a set, risk it right off the end of the October lull when I have intel that he was 2 minutes before trail camera 5 days, or 2 minutes before shooting light 5 days ago? So he's definitely in shooting light when he got there.
He's how far away from this bedding? Because I don't
200
think
yards.
Okay, so he's 200 yards from this bedding, 2 minutes away from shooting light.
Yeah.
I don't think you explained how far you want to hang a set from that trail cam.
The trail cam's 75 to 100 yards where I think he's bedding, and I want to be right on it.
I thought it was like 200.
From where he's bedding?
No, from the mobile cam.
Oh, the mobile cam? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like 200 yards from where he's bedding.
bedding?
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe a little more.
So you're gonna come on the east side.
I'm going to come on the east side of him on a southwest. Go in there, hang a set, and kill him. Is that what you would do, or would you play it safe and go in there and hunt the rut like I do with potential to kill him, and then maybe go in there late season? But when are you going to have a southwest late?
So
I got a southwest in 2 days from recording this.
yeah. So the only thing that's making you want to go in there right now is one series of trail cam pics on a southwest. But then you've taken that southwest wind, relayed it to previous pics, which previous pics this year, southwest wind coming in a week ago Saturday.
Yeah. Previous picks last year,
Previous pics last year, daylighting,
southwest wind,
southwest
going
wind.
into that bedding. Going towards that bedding. I don't know if he's going in that bedding, but he's going towards it.
He's going towards it. Okay. This year has yet to break daylight.
Close. Not on trail cam. I know he broke daylight last Saturday. He was 2 minutes to shooting light. And then we decided that... So homie hung a camera with the time off. So we had to go to...
I got
when-
giant shoulders. I will take that.
So when we had to go to when I pulled it, it got a picture of my arm. So we had to go from the arm pick, time, minus... We had to do math.
7 hours and 33 minutes, I believe.
7 hours and 33 minutes
This
off.
is the most jacked up time
Yeah.
you will ever hear on this podcast
Yeah.
because this will never happen again.
Yeah. So, no idea how that set or happened. We took it off video to photo, so maybe that's what it was. And
Yeah.
it was night after we had just hunted. You carried it in with your backpack. Could have been, shaking it or hitting buttons or something. Different card in there that I don't know, that might have done it. But, anyways, all right. So we're still game planning for Mr. Freeze. What?
long game plan.
Yeah, long game
Maybe a couple
plan.
pause breaks here and there.
Yeah.
People trying to get a couple jacked up trail cams
Yeah.
situated.
Yeah, but we are.
If you take your trail cam off video and put it on photo, double check the time and the date.
Yeah.
It's gonna save a lot of headache. Probably gonna save a friendship because I thought mine was going down the gutter.
So I think we should look at our goals here. We're almost 20 days into season. Is there anything on the goal list that you would like to change?
Can I see my goal list? Just as a reference. I know one is get a mature buck in the buck nest.
That's your number one.
That's my number one. It's something that we left out of our preseason episode, but we're gonna cover here. Mature buck in the buck nest. Man. Right now it's not looking good.
Got a lot of days left.
Got a lot of days left. As of this point last year, dude, that spot was on fire. I've got maybe $2 on trail cam.
Yeah. I think you're killing the better filming. You're crushing that
Yep.
goal.
Number 2 would be just take 2 does, general with a bow. Number 3 for me is better filming. Yeah, I'm smoking that right now. I've given up. I'm not saying a kill shot, but I've given up an opportunity or so. Number 4 is, you got to get your biggest buck down. And then number 5 is to keep a hunt journal and learn a new property, which Cody and we're on Boonertown now. And Cody and I are, it seems as of late here, to be learning his lease together, kind of. You know, he's got the intel, but we're kind of putting our heads together, smacking our heads, and at times it gets he's kind of butting me pretty hard on what's going on the lease.
He gets really confused on east and west.
No, he has no idea where east and west is, but that's something that we didn't shout out, was our preseason goals, but we did after we recorded that episode, and we're like, oh, hey, we didn't even do that. But, man, I'd love to get 2 does down and a mature buck and then still have just one of these, giants you got running around, take off and get out of the way.
Yeah. So my number 1 was buck on public. My number 2 was Mr. Freeze. I'm going to switch that now and put my number 1, since I got activity on the lease.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Freeze is number 1. Switching that. Number 2 is buck on public. I'm not going to give up on that.
Okay.
I still think I got some time. The best time to hunt out there is still yet to come.
I would say, what's the latest you can hunt on that?
November 11th, I think.
On public?
Mm-hmm.
For the late stuff?
That's it.
Really?
November 11th, and
No
that's
wonder
over.
it's so good.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I got 3 does, and then
Well,
I got slow down, soak it in. So I've been doing really good at that. My sets, I haven't been seeing a lot of action. I haven't been seeing a lot of deer. I've been putting in more work than this year on ever packing in, moving stands, hanging sets. I think I've done 3 pack-in hanging hunts this year.
Mm-hmm.
That's more than I normally do in a total year combined, and I'm only, a few days into season. And then soaking it in, I haven't got to harvest anything, but when I do, I really want to soak in the blood trail instead of just trying to get to like the end. I want to
Right.
reap it in, and soak it in is also soak in the intel. That's one thing I learned from this podcast. Soak in the intel. Don't let it just. Don't get a trail cam picture and be like, okay, I got a trail cam picture. Figure out what's going on, and we've done that more this year than I think we ever have.
Yeah.
Why is this deer here? What is he doing?
I think it doesn't make it easier, but it makes more sense when you have, 2 years intel, 3 years intel.
Kind of connect the dots.
Yeah. In the buck nest, there's different deer almost, every day or every other day. Makes it hard to, figure out what is going on.
Yeah, I get the same thing too. It's sometimes you get that random buck that comes through, but When you get the bucks year after year, that's when you can start kind of getting an idea.
That's and
like
I mean,
Sidekick. I bet you we see Sidekick in the rut because he'll come back in the rut.
yeah, that'd be insane because he's been gone for 3 months. You know what I
Did
mean?
the exact same thing last year.
Yeah,
Gone
see.
in Velvet and come back in the rut. Seen him twice.
I mean, just
Or 3 times. Seen him 3 times. I passed him once. My buddy couldn't get drawn on him once, and then we bumped him out of the tree or bumped him while we were in the tree that one time.
Yeah, see, I mean, just some
3 encounters.
where I'm at, you know, you just don't really get them year after year. I mean, there's a few you can get year after year, but it just you're so close to the neighbors, and the neighbors they.
I think your
some
problem's is the
super-
shotgun hunters, dude.
Yeah,
I think a deer gets in there and it's like, okay, this is cool. This is a good spot, you know. And then 1800s go out there during shotgun
right.
season.
And then nobody else around us is really getting that pressure.
Yeah, and then
And it's super thick because we had to track Jeff's deer last year.
yeah,
I mean, I couldn't stand up for a mile and a half.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
I'm not even exaggerating. I mean, it was insane.
yeah. So, and then my 5th is I want to write down after harvest, like what I'm feeling right at that moment. Like sit down and write it down. So, and I want to keep a hunt journal also. So when I'm on like my 9th set during the rut and I haven't seen a shooter, you know, I can read that and be like, man, this is what it's like. You know, this is the hour after finding your buck, you know, you're just right. So,
Or I just want to be like, man, I come in here, everything was perfect.
yeah.
I was jacked because I worked my ass off all week at work. So I was jacked to get in here. Everything was perfect. But I didn't see nothing, man.
Yeah.
You know? I think that happens more than, you know, seeing $10.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
You know, you got on number 4, slow down, soak it in, which you covered. But, you know, at number 5, you have reap and then write down after the harvest. But I think the end of number 4 and the beginning of number 5 kind of go hand in hand. I mean, right now, we wrote this, you know, a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, I mean, how thankful would we be for that to happen?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we're thinking, you know, 2 weeks in, we're both going to have a doe down.
Yeah.
But here we are, a month
Well,
in.
I've been here before. It's just not new for me.
No,
know?
yeah. Trust
So-
me. Tomorrow, I'm about to share something on your Facebook.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I haven't killed a deer before right now anyway.
Yeah.
Ever. October 21st.
Yeah.
Never killed a deer before that.
Really.
So,
Yeah, I want to make it a big deal for me to, like a bucks I got hanging on the wall. I remember hunting, I remember the track job and stuff, but like, I just want to have that wrote down. So 10 years, can I remember it in 10 years? I don't know.
yeah. You're not going to remember the wind that
Yeah,
you went
I'm
in.
not gonna remember the wind that I went in, and you know how long was I in stand and
Right.
that stuff. So that's a big goal for me. Number 1, I'm changing buck on public. It's going on the back burner. Mr. Freeze is going up there to number uno.
Wonder what would make you do that.
Picks, man. When you get him 2 or 3 times, you know, that's within a week. You know the big thing is I've never had him on the property in the right this time. Like, you know, juries say the home range shrinks, and like I was telling you this year, man, I hope his home range shrinks, and I put no pressure on that piece.
All right, time out.
How am I going to kill him this year?
Yeah. This is it, bud. Let's go.
This is my last year. It all starts with one trail cam pick and me trying to figure out what's going on with this buck. So I get Mr. Freeze on trail cam. I'm jacked, of course, you know, and I'm trying to figure it out. And then I realize, okay, 2 potential spots that he could be bedded here. Nowhere else really, unless he's going to be walking in daylight for hours, you know. So I narrow it down to 2 spots. So I move a trail camera to this area, not because I have this intel yet. It's just because the corn on that corner is just completely destroyed. So I'm wondering what's coming out of that corner, just killing that corn. I mean, there's 300 yards knocked down there,
Right.
You know
When
where
we when
Yeah.
we went into October 4th and we skirted
Yeah.
the field edge to hunt the north corner stand, it was destroyed.
Yeah. So,
Was that the first time you'd been on that side of the corn that year?
Yeah.
This year?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
so,
the north side is
yeah.
gone.
North side's gone too. But so I moved that camera because where I got pictures in the past just wasn't really panning out for me this year. And then we got M14 there a couple times. We got the runner-up 10 there.
Yep.
And we got the 8 with the kicker that was fighting M14 on trail cam on the south end. So I found this bedding area by eliminating where I would bed if I was a big deer, right? I got permission to access this property, but I don't have permission to hunt it. So I can shed hunt it, I can walk through it, but I can't bring a weapon on it. So I found sheds there. I've seen the sign there, but I've never really clicked to, and I've jumped big deer there during shed season with both sides. So I've never really clicked together what was going on. Well, then I kind of had an idea. I kind of told homie, I said late December or early December, late November, I think I can kill this deer. It kind of clicked on me by looking at the pictures from December, how he was using my property. And I told homie, I said, I think he's bedded here. And then that pick furthered my, okay, he's bedding here. And then the recent picks kind of didn't really make me think that he might be bedding there, but he's definitely using that side of the property. So that kind of made me further a little more, you know what I mean? So I moved the camera in real close to this bedding area. So when I get that intel, I'll have a for sure idea on what is using that property. I picked a tree out already. I went ahead and moved everything out of the way, like tree limbs or whatever. There's some tree limbs and stuff. I kind of pushed them down the hill into the ditch to where I could get in there and hang a stand quiet if I needed to go in there and hang a stand. I already did that. I figured I'm in here pulling this cam. Something already knows I'm going to be here, so I might as well just do it and get ready. So my plan is to get that intel right off the bat. Okay, if that intel tells me that he's been there recently, I'm going to hunt it on a southwest wind. I never hunt this property on the south wind. I never put one set on this property on a southwest wind on this side because you literally can't. But if I hunt this corner, I can because I'm blowing away from where the buck's going to be coming, where the buck's bedding out into a standing cornfield. An evening hunt, you're not going to want to do it. You're going to risk blowing the deer off the field because you know that big buck isn't in the field. He's coming through the timber to get to that bedding. So you're going to risk blowing the deer that's off that field. The field's only 3 acres, though, 4 acres. So, I mean, is there a lot of deer using it? I don't really know. It's right next to the road, so probably not. Probably a few. When it's out, I feel like there's less. I've scouted it before when it's out and seen a few deer in it. But I feel like if you bump, I've walked across it multiple times, and that's how I get to my rut stuff.
I would say I feel like if there was a bunch of deer, like you'd be bumping deer constantly.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when you scout it, they're coming out of that south corner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what has made you hunt the stand that you have on a northwest?
Because it's impossible for them to win you. It's set up where they'd have to be out in the field to win you.
I'm talking day one. Why are you like, oh, are you just like deer are going to be in that grass?
It's because I had access and I found sheds up there.
Okay.
I found sheds of a giant.
So
I had access. I ran trail cameras, got pics, hung a stand.
You just didn't start like on the edge of the field and just kind of work in and be like, oh, well,
No.
Deer just hanging up
and
in
then there's
grass.
that fence crossing there that furthered my, okay, I want to hang it here. And then like I was telling you while I was in that tree, there's this stand here, but I needed to be able to shoot here just in case. So that's a better cover-wise, but I can't do that because, like I tell people sometimes, people are like, well, there's not enough cover on that tree. Well, I'm 20 foot high, and if it's a tree you need to be in, it's a tree you need to be in.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I think a lot of people set up to see deer, not kill deer. You got to set up, like, I could hunt. So if I wanted to go to the southwest where I think this buck's going, I could hang a stand right on the field edge and see down in there and see if that buck goes in there, but I couldn't kill him. It'd be 70 yards. If I creep in there another 30, 40 yards and set where I want to set, he'll be a 20-yard shot, and I can kill him. Is it more risky? Yeah, but what's better, seeing a buck at 70 yards, or killing a buck at 20? So this is how I'm ending this episode. This is our season update, and I called out that I was going to kill him December, late November, and I'm still thinking that. But I'm going to hang a stand, and I'm going in there Sunday morning, and I'm killing this deer. I'm going to pull that cam, and if that cam has any intel that says that he is there, I'm risking it. The rut's coming. He's going to be cruising all over. I'm going to risk it for the biscuit, just like you say you need to do. It's my last year to hunt this piece. I'm freaking going in there. I'm hanging a set. I don't care if I got to pack it in the morning and hang it. I'm going in there. I'm hanging a set, and I'm killing that deer at 20 yards, crossing that creek. That's what I'm saying right now. Is it going to work? Probably not. But that's my game plan. So,
Well,
we'll see what happens.
I would say, I guess we'll find out.
If you guys have an episode where it's just like 65 beer pops and then a Ric Flair for 3 minutes and then that's it, I shot him. So, just a 4-minute episode. Woo! Woo! So, that's it. That's the end of the episode.
All right. Well,
All right. Guys, get out there. Have some fun. Hunt hard. Try to leave a legacy. And Whitetail Legacy out.